All right, we are live. I'm here with Susanna and Rivka, and we're going to be covering the news. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. All right, so we're going to go over 10 different news items today. The live chat is here with us. Guys, if you're watching this later, make sure you're not just following us, but you also have the notification bell so you can see when we go live. We're live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the same time. Isn't that awesome, right? But I think Susanna, you wanted to say something really quickly, before we get into the first news.
Yeah, so an exciting new feature we have is thank you to Fatima, one of our community members. She made emotes for us. And so if you're a member or a subscriber, if you're a member on YouTube or a subscriber on Twitch, you now have exclusive access to adorable emotes of me and Armin. And they're originally from the Discord server, which I've been having a lot of fun in the Discord server. I've been DJing in the Discord server. Um, yes, chicken jar is right. And we're having a lot of fun there. So also join us on Discord or become a member, and you get exclusive access to emoticons such as me or Armin yelling, "Do it now!" So
Mm,
yeah, it's fun.
yeah. All right, so let's get into the first news.
And this one is
Oh,
clapworthy, I
oh,
think.
it's club-worthy. Okay,
Yeah.
first news.
Okay. Belgian elected trans woman as deputy prime minister in Belgium. Um, Petra de Sutter, who is a gynecologist and Green Party member, has been appointed Deputy Prime Minister of Belgium. She tweeted, quote, incredibly grateful for the support I have received from my party. De Sutter is a long-standing activist on sexual health and trans issues. She is currently the most senior transgender politician in Europe. The list also includes Mary Cow, the first openly trans mayor in France, uh, Juan Marco Negri, the first trans mayor in Italy, plus members of parliament in Spain, Sweden, Germany, and Poland. So it's always exciting to see trans people being elected to positions of power in the government because I think it's a good signal that it's even more widely accepted in that society.
Okay, only if it's seen as a signal that it's accepted. Not it's there's two. Okay, there's this very important difference that people should pay attention to. Okay, you do not pick people for positions because of their biological traits. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you pick them because they're qualified.
Yes.
But if so happens the people who are qualified are the people who are usually discriminated against, that's a sign that it's becoming normalized. You shouldn't manually pick people because of their biological traits. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's not a good idea. You should pick people based on their qualifications rather than their biological traits. So it should be, the key word that Susanna used is that it's a signal. Okay, it's a signal that things, it shouldn't be a goal for you to mandatory change things so that you're picking people like that. But because then you're not fixing things at the root,
Mm-hmm.
you're actually making it look like things are being fixed, right?
I
It
completely
just
agree.
looks good. Yeah, but
Your any random identity category you happen to be a part of is not a job qualification. Let me be clear.
right,
But yeah, like I said,
right.
it's a signal.
It's a signal. It's a signal that is the root problems are being solved rather than, yeah. What do you think, Rivka?
Well, I agree with both of you. I agree that just whatever your identity is isn't a job qualification. I don't agree with um, mandated equality of representation only, so that you have to have one of all these people just to show that we have one of everybody. Um, I don't think that that solves problems either. Also, I mean, it would be nice at some point that these kind of headlines almost don't exist because we don't say, Belgium elected its first redhead, Belgium
Mm,
elected its first person wearing glasses, its
mm.
first, woman, its first Jew, its first, we hope not to say any of those things. So let's hope that this doesn't even matter. But the fact that, like you were saying, is that if it's they're qualified and it just so happens that they happen to be of a group, particularly one that has been discriminated against. Well, that's even more interesting, and let's hope
Yes.
that it keeps on going to the point where it's not even anything to even consider anymore.
Right. By the way, Michelle is asking, can I donate money towards? Yes, there's a Patreon. You could donate to us. There's a Patreon link in the description, or you could just search for Atheist Republic on Patreon. That would be the best way.
Or PayPal.
Yes, but Patreon is the good thing about Patreon is that if we get to 200 patrons, then we're gonna start our Islamic Hadith project, illustration project. So that's that. All right, good. People agree with us. AJ also. AJ agrees with us, and he is. Wait, is AJ a he or she?
She.
She. Okay, cool. Cool. And also, Harshit is saying you should buy the Allah is gay. No, guys. Guys, can you keep the comments on the news that we're talking about? Let me actually see what people are saying. Here, let's see the top comments here. Okay. So first, she's not elected. Okay, so guy is saying she's not elected. Second, she's not capable. The rest is irrelevant for the job. What do you guys say to that?
I'm not familiar enough with Belgian or
I don't know how
politics
the
to.
Belgians do their thing. So
I do know that Belgium has been without a government, without a federal government for I believe almost a year.
Yeah, I mean she's a minister, so she's not Belgian just elected. Elected, I think that they elected not by. I mean,
The
it's a
people.
minister. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it may be elected by the people, the politicians who elect the minister. I don't know how that works. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's not capable, but could you please explain how come you know with such certainty before she even? I think guy is just butthurt. Maybe it just seems like some issues. I don't know. I don't want to accuse somebody of anything. I don't know. I just feel like some people just get butthurt easily when trans people accomplish something. I don't know, maybe.
or maybe he just really thinks that she's a bad politician and not good at her
Maybe.
job. I mean, that would actually be better
Yeah.
for me, because then she's just a person. It has nothing to do with her identity group, right? She's either good or bad at her job, and you
Maybe.
can have an opinion about that.
Yeah, it's important for us to be able to say, yeah, it's important if people are an anti politician who happens to be trans, everything that they have against him or her has nothing to do with the fact that they're trans, right? I'm hoping like people could hate a politician who is trans, with that, and that have nothing to do with them being trans. Like
Yeah.
that's yeah.
That's
Right, so
the goal.
that's the goal. To hate them for the
That's a
right
good
reason.
thing. If they just dislike them for the quality of the work they do or the
Right.
ideology that they hold.
Completely.
Oh, look at this.
This is hilarious. Can I read this?
Yeah, you read this.
Look, I'm tired of these trans people getting elected all the time. How are they supposed to do their job if they're riding on trains 24/7? Then there's the bathroom issue. The taxpayers cannot afford to have special bathrooms with train tracks running through them.
Okay, that's funny. That's funny.
That made me laugh.
Okay. Okay, some other people are saying elected is not a word. So guys, we didn't pick the title.
Yeah.
This is from Vice.com. I don't understand how Vice could get if she's not elected. I don't know how Vice could get something so wrong. Maybe it was not elected by the people, but elected by a group of politicians or something like that. So it could still be elected, even though the people are not electing.
Yeah, just not democratically elected.
I mean, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's technically democratic, but not in a direct democratic.
Yeah, population.
Yeah. Okay, let me come back here. Let me see if there's any comments. Oh yeah. See, AG is saying ministers are elected local officials like mayors or members of parliament. Yeah, okay, I think it depends. Okay, here. Terrell is saying she was elected indirectly by regional. Oh, yeah, see, by regional parliaments. to the Belgian Senate in 2014 and to the European Parliament in 2019. Now appointed a minister to the Belgian federal government. Okay. See, wow, we have our live chat is always like here to help us figure things out, right? So let me open this next one. Okay, the next one we can't do clapping, right? We can't.
No.
Oh my. Okay, so for the next one, I need to hold on just 1 second. I need to remove ad blocker to be able to see the next one. Pause this. Pause for all sides. Okay. Refresh this page. All right. No, wait, no clapping. Next news.
Okay, next news. Egyptian police use dating apps to imprison LGBT plus people in Egypt. In a crackdown on the LGBT plus community, Egyptian security forces are entrapping citizens using dating apps, throwing them into jail, and subjecting them to systematic torture and abuse, according to the Human Rights Watch, or HRW. Reportedly, police are creating fake accounts to meet people in the LGBT community, at which point they are detained and their phones are subjected to unlawful searches. One gay man reports that, quote, they beat me and cursed me until I signed papers that I was, quote, practicing debauchery and publicly announcing it to fulfill my unnatural sexual desires, end quote. All 15 people interviewed by HRW reported various forms of torture and abuse while imprisoned, including forced virginity and anal exams.
Okay, I don't understand. Like in many countries where they have these stupid laws, um, it doesn't make sense for them to go out of their way to catch these people, unless there's a political motivation and people are really demanding. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they have it on the books, and if something becomes really obvious, they go after it. But other than that, they don't go hunting for it, because it doesn't serve anyone's interest. So I don't understand what's happening in Rivka.
It might serve a political interest in the event, in the case that even though nobody may be asking for it, if people are saying the police aren't doing anything, they're worthless, they haven't, solved any crimes, you could have the police themselves saying, hey, we need to make some arrests that people could get behind. Get on that gay app and throw some gays in jail, and we can talk about how we're cleaning stuff up around here. So that's a possibility. And I also think it serves an agenda to say that these people are equal to how you would catch other criminals. Like, for example, pedophiles is how people a lot of times do this.
Rivka.
Oh, did I use the bad word?
Yeah, we're trying to get monetized by YouTube here. These are not.
Sorry, the bad P word.
Too late. Yeah.
But it's true. This is a sting operation that people do for that kind of criminal who are heinous criminals. And I think they're trying to equate that this is because they were saying practicing debauchery. So, it could just be a points thing saying, look, we're cleaning things up. They're bad people anyways. We're working for you. Or as you're saying, maybe people are complaining about it too. I don't know.
Guys, please be very careful with the words that YouTube wouldn't like us to use. Okay, but go on, Susanna.
So to use some of the language from the article, they're saying in a brutal effort to clear the streets. So when clearing the streets, I don't know, immediately what comes to mind is corruption in the land. Like, I think it's very much like, obviously, it's like a puritanical thing. More, the article says the attacks come amid a fierce anti-LGBT crackdown in the country following the 2017 Mashrulia concert, when a picture of Sarah Hagazi raising a rainbow flag among the crowd was widely circulated. So we covered the story of Sarah not too long ago. She was quickly detained by the police, who tortured her for months, incited fellow detainees to beat and sexually assault her. Then she committed suicide recently after living in exile in Canada. So this is persecution that's been happening of the LGBT community in Egypt for a long time, but it seems like ever since there was this concert, there's been a renewed and intensified effort to persecute my community.
So so that mean you. So you think there's a popular demand for this in Egypt, and that's why they're responding to the popular demand?
hmm Rights groups said that since the concert, authorities have stepped up arrests and prosecutions of LGBT people using vague, discriminatory, quote, debauchery and prostitution laws. Egyptian authorities seem to be
Hey.
competing for the worst record on rights violations against LGBT plus people in the region, while the international silence is appalling, says Rasha Yones, HRW's LGBT rights researcher for the Middle East and North Africa.
Um. Okay. So, and is there anything we can do to? No, right?
Well, raising awareness about the fact that it is
Hmm.
such becoming so intensified recently is an important part of it, definitely.
Right. I mean, these dating apps could do something to help verify. No, I don't know. Should people just stop using these dating apps?
I mean, if
Like
I
that?
was there, I would not be on Grinder.
Yeah,
They're using
but
Grinder.
they're using Grinder.
Yeah.
But like, can Grinder like do something to help these people? I mean, it's really difficult. You could just pretend that you're into this stuff, and then what? These people are evil.
hmm
Well, I think that it serves a twofold function too, though, because a lot of these authoritarian regimes don't like the WhatsApp. They don't like the ability for people to communicate with each other and set up, protests or people to communicate with each other in a way that's not monitored or with people all over the world. And so, or any of these sort of internet, social media chat rooms, meetups, all these places where people can do things that either the government doesn't want or that they say is, too Western or too much of an influence of non-Islamic values, all these things. So if you are getting rid of gay people and at the same time making people scared to use the WhatsApp or other meet sites, it kind of has a twofold purpose for them. And oftentimes I notice when they say they're cleaning up areas, I've noticed it's because they want to, have a project or they're going to have, you know, um, dignitaries come. A lot of times that's what I notice too. They're cleaning something up, something's going on there. Or, like I said, it's a way to show people that they're doing something.
So the thing with atheists, for example, being hunted down, at least what atheists can, because atheists don't. I mean, they like to meet each other face to face, but they don't really have to. It's mostly about sharing. You could completely be anonymous. You just want to talk to like-minded people about your views, about your struggles, and as much as it would be nice to meet people sometimes and have a drink with them or go out with them, like people that kind of understand you, it's not really necessary. So you could be completely anonymous and talk to people. So they don't have to deal in this example. They don't have to deal with what gay people have to deal with, because gay people, like, I mean, we have to meet, like, they have to meet each other, right? They're like, you know, I mean, you need to. They have to find out, or else it's like, what's the whole point of coming out, right? Um, you're basically
Well,
missing out. I mean, one again, there are other points, as I know, but one of the main importance of living a normal life is to be able to enjoy life the same way straight people enjoy life, right? So it's not enough for you to be able to go online and find other gay people and openly be like exchange the views and be like, oh yeah, oh you're gay as well, I'm gay as well. No, like at some point you want that to escalate to actually meeting these people, right? And that's why they're at more risk in this specific example than atheists, because atheists could always be like, I'm good. We could just talk online forever. Um, yeah. Susanna, you wanted to say something? You were going to say, well,
I don't think that's the only reason to be out. Um,
I didn't say only. Okay, it was like
okay, I
main.
know. I don't even know if Maine is anyways, but I
Yeah.
understand your point, especially like you want to be in relationship with people. You want to meet people. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be able to live like
Hmm.
enjoy the things, same things like as easily as straight people do. So yeah, it is one of the main things. What are you talking about? Anyways, you're like, oh, like Susanna, like, shut up. I'm part of the LGBT community, so she thinks like she's the
Did I
ambassador of.
say that?
No, that's what you're thinking. You think like you get this.
I didn't pull that card on you. Oh my
You're thinking
god.
it. You're thinking it.
Oh, now you're
Uh,
gonna speculate.
Oh, you just need to be quiet and listen to her lived
Yeah, yeah,
experience
yeah.
being part of LGBT community.
Oh,
Armin,
yeah.
all right.
don't
Take a seat.
mansplain it.
Take a
I'm
seat.
not mansplaining. I'm straight splaining.
This heterosexual, disgusting.
Right. Here. Let's read this comment with the 110. Do you want me to?
Um,
Yeah.
that's the so. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired of this. That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's the so-called religion of peace for you. If we don't get a grip on it soon, it will happen in our own country in a matter of time.
No, it's not gonna
Oh
happen in
my
your country.
gosh.
I don't know where are you. Where is this person? Where is this?
I don't
It's
know.
it's not gonna happen over there. One, okay. And what is this with this comment that always gets the highest amount of likes and engagement? You guys are still like, is this like getting so-called religion of peace? Yeah, guys,
I'm
really,
so
Islam
over
is
it.
not. Oh my God, yes, Islam is not peaceful. Oh yes, so-called religion of peace. God damn it! And why does this always get the highest amount of engagement? Like you guys are not original at all. Like this is like it's been like 2 decades now, and like I don't know. Fresh material, people. Fresh material. So-called religion of peace. Why is this? Yeah. But what about this person? Jasmine saying, interesting that it's pretty much only men reaction with the laugh. Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, this is what you're paying attention to, Jasmine? And, like, going over the, like, oh, look at the laugh. Oh, wow, this one actually got a lot of reactions. 4,000 reactions, right? Actually, most of the reactions are angry reactions, right? And so she decided to go spend the time on this news that is about gay people being oppressed in Egypt. And she's like, let me check the identity, let me check the gender of the people who are doing laugh reactions. Oh, it's mostly men. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you that the angry reaction is also probably mostly men because most of our audience is mostly men,
Yeah.
right? So here, look, the angry Jasmine is like, this is the Jasmine is like focusing on the most important stuff, right? She's like, oh, the laugh
What boxes
reaction.
can I put people in?
Yeah, like, oh my God, look at men are so bad because most of the laugh reaction comes from men. Yeah, but the angry reaction is also coming mostly from men, Jasmine. You idiot. All of the reaction is mostly coming from men because atheist pages are mostly followed by men. Jasmine, like seriously, these people are like really obsessed with people's biological identities. Anyways, pisses me off. Let's bring up. Let me bring up the next one. Hopefully this one opens. Is the next news clapboard? Can I do clap? Can I
Yes.
do it? Yeah.
It's
Okay.
totally clappable.
Oh, nice, guys. This week is like good. All
Hmm.
right. Next. Wait, that was not very good. Next news.
Okay. Tennessee Public School District must stop promoting religion. In Smith County, Tennessee, two atheist families assisted by the American Civil Liberties Union, or ACLU, were successful in their lawsuit filed against the public school district for violating church-state separation by encouraging Christianity and proselytizing to its students. Over several years, their children were subject to a number of unconstitutional actions, such as prayer during mandatory school assemblies, distribution and display of Bibles during classes, Bible verses posted in hallways, prayers broadcast through loudspeakers at sporting events, coaches leading prayer with student athletes, and a large cross painted on the wall of the school's athletic facility. The court has made it clear that the school district can no longer include or promote prayer in any of its school events, and that school officials may not impose their personal beliefs onto the student body.
Wait, so how did you manage to win this? Who's responsible for this, and how's it like? This is great.
Hmm. Yeah, so
Um,
these two families are represented by the ACLU.
It's an establishment clause, you know,
hmm.
lawsuit, which the school, which almost gets ruled on the same way again and again and again and again. I mean, this is an egregious thing. This is not just everybody standing up before the game and saying, you know, God bless our school. Yeah, let's win. You know, this is egregious. I mean, they were giving out Bibles.
Hmm.
They were, you know, the coach was praying with kids. Teachers were praying. They had prayer on the loudspeaker during school hours, prayer during the football games. I mean, this was a really serious violation, especially like the Bible giving out and the teachers talking about it and proselytizing to kids in classrooms. It's pretty egregious violation.
So what's the calculation though? Like when these schools do something like this, like does the school suffer from like legal fees and stuff like that, or no?
Usually they have to pay the legal fees if they lose. And I know there have been instances where people have had to. I mean, the calculation is they've gotten away with it this long. I mean, because that's the thing about in the United States, the way the school systems are, you could have hundreds of school systems within one state because it's all local and they all elect their school boards and they may do different things. So it's really difficult sometimes to get every single one to um, to know that some are, whether they're doing this or not. I mean, it's taken this long and however long the lawsuit took to go through, and then all the people that didn't complain or that were afraid to. I mean, they've been getting away with it for however many years until it finally stopped. So that's the calculation. You just do it
Yeah,
until somebody finally stops you.
Susanna.
I mean, if it's just supported by the popular culture of that area, it's kind of assumed to be okay by default, just because yeah, it's like majority rule, so to speak. And if it's majority rule and most people don't have a problem with it, then no one's going to stand up against it. But these two families did. um, both from this article, both of the families want the school district to respect their right to be non-believers. Lena Carr, one of the children of in the lawsuit and a student at Smith County High School, stated, "At school, everyone makes it seem like you have to believe in one thing, just like them. It is very awkward and uncomfortable. I respect other people's religions, and I would like it if they would respect my beliefs." The court approved a consent decree between the district and the families that makes it clear the school district can no longer include prayer in any of its school events. In addition, I've already said that part. Um, yeah.
Okay, can I just before you continue, I just want to say that we need to teach more people to not say we respect your belief and switch it to we respect your right to believe. Like this is something that we need to normalize. You know, to to switch it. Like you do not, yeah, you do not. We do not respect. We shouldn't say like we respect your belief because you. I mean, your beliefs are nonsense. What we respect is your right to believe and to practice what you believe as long as it doesn't harm other people. That's what we respect. But
Mhm.
no, we don't. I mean, we shouldn't respect the belief. But go on. Sorry.
Well, I'm going to give this person a pass because it's like a high school student.
Yeah, I didn't. That's why I said that's our job to normalize
I
that. You know,
know.
I wasn't saying like, oh, why are you this high class? You're such stupid person. Why are you telling people that you respect? I didn't say that, right? I was saying that our job is to encourage more people to switch from saying, oh, I don't believe in this stuff, but I respect your beliefs. We should be like, yeah, maybe switch it up to stop saying I respect your right to believe. But go on, Rivka.
Um, I also want to point out the level that this is at. Okay, when I said this is egregious, it's because they went into a consent decree. Consent decree is used by courts to make sure people are adhering to the um, judgments, sometimes, or to the regulatory laws. Sometimes it's also an agreement of no guilt between the parties as well. But the fact that usually in school districts, that agree to that enter into consent decrees. It's a way of making sure they're adhering to the decision. A lot of times you hear about cases like this. They contact the school district sends a letter saying, okay, we're not doing it anymore, and they just tell everybody to stop doing it, and then that's the end. No, this is actually a legal document between the school and the court saying, we're in this consent, you've consented to this, and we're making sure that you are following through with it. So it's more serious is what I'm trying to say. It's a pretty, serious ruling versus just a cease and desist letter.
Susanna?
Wow, I just found a picture. It's more than just a large cross painted on the side of the school's gym. It's a huge cross in big bold letters that says "In God We Trust" with a giant crucifix. It's flagrant.
Well, this may be part of that thing that started happening around 2016, 2017. There was school district after school district, state after state that was passing legislation mandating that schools display "In God We Trust" somewhere in the school. So Kentucky did, I think maybe Tennessee might be one of them, and sometimes it was just a small thing, but I think Louisiana, South Dakota, there were a large number of schools that passed these legislations. So I'm wondering if this is coming on the heels of that, especially being that it says "In God We Trust" and it's a giant. It may have been there before, but there was this chain of events, a series of state after state after state, school district after school district, passing that legislation rather.
So the problem with these laws in the United States is, because it takes a lot to fight back against violating the laws, right? So a lot of people know that, and a lot of people are like, we could get, even though we're violating the Constitution, we know that we could get away with it for a very, very long time. Oh, Susanna just saw something. What is it?
I'm reading the consent decree right now. Oh my goodness. Oh no.
Well, also, Armin, I mean, these school boards are made up of the people in the community usually. So not only does it take a lot, it takes someone to find it objectionable. And to realize, hey, you know what, you are violating the Constitution, and I object to you violating the Constitution. A lot of these people don't believe that they are because they believe that they have the dominion to do this, or this is part of what their version of it is, or what they, their narrative, or no one's going to object. Right. Regardless of whether it's against the law or not, because it's made up of the people in the community that all think this way. Oftentimes.
So what we need to do is we need to celebrate the people that actually push back to encourage more people to do it more often so that they can't get away with this. Susanna, did you want to mention what you saw?
Oh, so the consent decree. So, in their answer, defendants deny many of the factual allegations, but admit to various factual allegations asserted by the plaintiffs. The factual allegations admitted to by defendants include, but are not limited to, and this is the one that shocked me, the distributions of Bibles to fifth grade students of the Gideon's International. For those who don't know, the Gideon's International is an evangelical Christian association that I'm very familiar with because they give out Bibles for free. And when I went to Bible camp throughout my entire childhood, they would show up every week to pass out all these copies of the New Testament. And that's part of how they proselytize, is to, that's why you find Bibles in almost every hotel room you go to, is because of Gideon's International. And they've gotten in trouble before. The distributions of Bibles on school grounds has been an issue because of the U.S. Supreme Court's interpretation of the Establishment Clause in the Constitution. So they've been getting in trouble for this since 2008, and they're still doing it. Yeah. But because of my personal experience, when I saw Gideon's International and that consent decree, I was like, ugh.
Is this a school do you think they gain support or donations from people because they make it act like they're fighting against, they're being oppressed and stuff like that? Is that another calculation to feel like
I don't
that?
know.
Oh.
Well, I don't know that they're doing it necessarily to get support, but I know, I mean, I've seen
Hmm.
some schools that have gotten, help with their legal fees from people, or you see people who, just leave this alone, and they'll, write letters to the editor. They, I stand with the mayor, blah, blah, these kind of things. Even if it's not a school district, I mean, it's simple as taking down a religious display on the courthouse lawn. We had that in the little town next to me, and the mayor actually had a great response. He was like, well, if I'm not supposed to do it as the mayor, I shouldn't be doing it. I can't get behind something that's unconstitutional, and I'm just going to get rid of it. But people were upset, and people wrote letters, and people wanted to donate money to put the display somewhere else. And, so those kind of things I think are reactions. I don't know that it's calculated to necessarily get donations, but I'm sure there's people that help them with their legal fees and things.
Right. So this. Oh yeah, actually, that's a good point. So this person thinks so overseeing giant banners promoting after-school Bible study at my son's elementary school. Okay, this seems like needs to be. You could take this to the. This seems like a legal case as well.
That sounds like a job for the Freedom from Religion Foundation.
Yeah. And then she continues by saying, "While the Bible is fine on its own, I am his pet. Well, okay, I am his parent. We will decide as a family what is best for our kiddo." Okay, so I have a huge issue with the second part. First of all, the Bible is not fine in any way at all. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
on its own with other books. I don't know what that even means. No, the Bible is not fine. Also, this is also wrong. We will decide as a family what is best for our kiddo. No, you shouldn't be able to do that. There are a lot of things that I think a government needs to decide that your kid needs, and if you don't like that, I think it should be forced on you. If you decide that your kids do not need to learn mathematics, then unfortunately you're a bad parent, and you shouldn't be able to get decide what is best for your kiddo. If you think like your kids don't need to learn science, again, this is why certain education is mandatory for children, because some parents are crappy parents, and you shouldn't be able to get to decide. You don't own your children, and just because they came out of your body, that doesn't mean that you get to ruin their lives because you're making bad decisions for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. So I disagree with that. I mean, in this, yeah. So there's that. All right. So can I do the? No, I can't. Oh yeah, I can do the clap. I can do the
Yeah.
clap. Oh, okay, okay, okay. But guys, before we do the next news, Rivka especially, be careful with this next news, okay? Because there's a lot of
Big
keywords.
words.
Yeah,
Big
and
words.
yeah, and like if we use the words and we're like, "Oops, sorry," here's another word. It doesn't work like that, okay? It doesn't fix like just because we're like, "Oops, sorry," and then use a different word. It doesn't eliminate the word that we are the. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry, Rivka. I'm being mean to you. I'm just being anti-Semitic, okay? I'm Iranian. It's in my nature, okay? All right. All right, all right. Wait. Next news.
Next news. Naughties lose in Greece. Golden Dawn declared criminal organization. At least 20,000 people gathered outside a court in Athens to hear the verdicts in the trial of Greek neo-Nazi party Golden Dawn. A guilty verdict was announced and the party was declared a criminal organization. 18 former lawmakers were among those declared criminals. For 4 years in an economically suffering Greece, the party has successfully combined major electoral advance with terrorizing neighborhoods of immigrants with its, quote, battalion squads of armed gangs. While criminal actions, not ideas, were at the heart of this trial, the lawyers representing the victims demonstrated that the Nazi ideology and the organization at the core of Golden Dawn explained the choice of targets, the intention, and overall motivation linking scores of crimes.
Wait, you need to tell people that because we cut the video from the beginning, a lot of people are going to be very confused why you're saying Nazi. Okay,
Yes.
so we
So
need to every time you start a news like this, you first have to clarify that we are using certain words. We're not using certain words because YouTube doesn't like us.
We're speaking in
Yeah.
code.
so
Again,
if
don't blame us. It's
if you
YouTube's
would
act.
like to, if you don't understand what we're talking about, please look at the title of this
Of the
news on the screen right now. There's
yes,
a big word that I
yes,
cannot say because of the YouTube gods. Um, yes, so we use words such as naughty because they're the naughty people from World War II. Um, and there's
I,
original naughties and neo naughties, and
yes,
you gotta hit that T.
yes.
Um, yeah, gotta enunciate that T. So this is who we're talking about. A
Arjun doesn't like that. He's saying, can't we just call them National Socialists? Again, Arjun, a lot of people don't know what that is, so
yeah,
that's not gonna work.
Well,
Okay,
just
so
like my suggestion, nobody knows what that is either. I was saying
yeah.
access powers.
yeah,
That
again, you
doesn't
guys
work
are
for people either.
yeah. I get, but if you use Nazi, people will know that what you're talking about something else. Okay, because so. Uh, Look them up. Oh, okay, Terrell is saying look them up on Wikipedia and notice their logo. There are not even neo Nazis; they are actual Nazis. Um, I don't know. I don't think the actual Nazis were the National Socialists during Germany, so I don't think
I think
they
you
can.
just dropped it.
I
You
said they're.
did drop it. You dropped the
No, I
T.
didn't.
You
I
dropped the
didn't.
T, brother.
I said the national. I said the Okay, I said they
Roll
are.
the
I
tape.
don't. Huh? I said neo-Nazi. Guys, in the live chat, I
Maybe it's
didn't.
your accent.
I don't know.
No,
I think on the third naughty, you dropped the T.
I did not. I did not. I'll bet money on this. We could replay this, you guys. I did not. I said
What I
neo-Nazi.
think's really interesting is they're called the Golden Dawn, like that spiritualist society that like William Butler Yeats and all of those were involved in. And these guys are neo-Nazis, access power and people.
Yeah, Golden Dawn sounds kind of kinky for some reason.
What's what I mean? It has this sort of, I
I
don't
think
know.
Muhammad Hijab would
It's
like.
not
Yeah,
as pejorative as you would think that
Yeah.
they're the naughty party would call themselves.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like I said, it was that whole sort of neo-pagan type of, and the
yeah.
spiritualist society that a lot of those people in the turn of the century were involved in. Robert Graves, maybe, and yeah. So I just think that I don't know. It's just weird to me to hear it in that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If Golden Dawn ever becomes like a word that YouTube would like start um not liking for us to use, then let's call them the Golden Shower. The Golden Shower Criminal
I was
Organization.
worried about that when writing this news. I was like, gosh, I hope that's not a keyword. Really quickly,
Yeah.
Tijana asked a question. Are there any good ways to support you guys except financially? Yes, you can you can subscribe, you can share this video, you can
Share,
send
share.
this to other people, you can post it on your social medias, lots of
Yes.
stuff like that. Uh,
Yes. Liking actually does help, like a lot. Like
mhm.
YouTube. Okay, if you're watching this on Facebook, follow us on YouTube. That really, really helps. Okay, so and if you're already on YouTube, just liking and subscribing and hitting the notification bell and commenting. That all really helps. Okay, so there's goes that. I do want to look at some comments here. Let's look at just one comment, maybe. I don't know if this is a good comment, so I'm taking a risk. You want to
Oh,
read
it looks
this?
like this is actually from a Greek person. Theophilos Ioannidis said they've committed crimes over and over again, but their political cover in the Greek parliament made them almost impossible to reach. Was it not for a young artist to lose his life stabbed in the heart by a Nazi, they would still have a voice to generate more hate and racism. It's an indication how far politics and democracy has fallen in Greece. Pavlos will never be forgotten. So Pavlos was an anti-fascist musician who was stabbed by a member of the Golden Dawn. That's my impression, anyways. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Trolls is saying Golden Dawn are vile. One of their members of parliament slapped a female MP on live TV. Holy cow. So this article also said that it was the biggest trial of Nazi criminality since Nuremberg in later processes following the Second World War. It ranks in Greek history alongside the hearings after the fall of the junta in 1974 of top officers responsible for the military coup of 1967. So one thing that wasn't clear about this was the biggest trial of Nazi criminality since Nuremberg globally or in Greece. But yes, this was a massive trial.
Didn't Israel manage to catch some of these people from Argentina and bring them for trials? Wasn't that a big
That's why I
deal?
was like a little bit confused about that sentence.
Maybe the
So
number of people in were higher, but go on.
it not only Golden Dawn seems to also have a little bit of a mafia construction as well. So as in a criminal organization. So also from the article, 3 instances of that quote work were part of this trial: the murder of anti-racist rapper Pavlos Fayas, the attempted I shouldn't say that word, the attempted M's taking of his life of Egyptian fisherman Abozid Mbarak, and communist trade union leader Sorites Poliki. Oh my goodness, sorry, that's a really hard Greek name. So
Why
yeah,
do you even try? I give up. Why do you even try? Anyway,
it's a valiant effort. Yes. So this
yeah.
is an extremely dangerous organization that is known to attempt to end people's lives.
See, Yuval is confirming what I said. Israel
Mhm.
tried and hung Aikman. Yeah, there's even a movie about that guy. But that was a huge
Well,
that
yeah,
was a huge deal.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
yeah.
this trial took almost
I'm
5
sorry, I
years.
misunderstood. I thought you were talking about Israel having something to do with these guys, and I was like,
N-
what? I was
No, no, but I was saying it because they said this was the biggest trial since Nuremberg, and I like how do you define biggest? Because I remember I know that was like a major
Oh, that was huge,
that was
especially because
huge.
they went and got him and brought him back, and then
Yeah.
try. Yeah, I mean, it was
Right.
huge.
So maybe it was this one is bigger compared to that. If you consider bigger as in the number of people involved or
I
something like
think
that.
that's what they meant.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, apparently this trial took nearly 5 years, just through the sheer amount of defendants involved and how much evidence was involved. There's just like so much to go through, and it finally came to a close.
Yeah.
And
What's
cheers
happening?
broke out when the verdict was announced.
Really,
Yeah,
man.
20,000 people.
I hope like what the hell is happening in Greece, man? Like, is like you guys need, clean this crap out. Like, what the hell? Like, you guys have not what did I say? Neo Nazis in your Rivka. I was
You
gonna.
dropped the T,
Did I? No. Okay.
brother.
I
For
didn't.
sure, you dropped the T on that one.
No. Okay. Okay. All right.
Armin June. Armin, you dropped the T.
Okay.
Guys, please share
Uh,
this video.
please share this video because we're gonna get crushed in the algorithm. God damn it. All right. Okay.
And
You
on
know
that
what? You know
very
what? We got. We have the person who edits these cuts these videos out. Maybe we should ask him to maybe like use like a bleeping sound when we like at least the re-release of these videos in smaller section. Maybe those could be better if we could get it like every time we make a mistake like that. Maybe he or she could block it, right? Anyways, Susanna, you wanted to add something? Oh, okay.
no.
No, yeah. So yeah, Greek, clean this crap. Make your country great again. Is that
This
can I
is
say
an
that?
amazing first step of
Yeah.
doing that, declaring them criminals, and so now they can go after the remainder in full force. Yes, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shane. And then Katie is saying Armin's nationalist cousins.
God damn it.
I'm
Guys.
so mad.
Armin the Aryan dropped the T.
Nah.
So mad.
All right. Let's move on. Is the next news?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. Wow. Today we have so much good news. Great. Okay. Next news.
Pakistani court frees Christian man sentenced to death for blasphemy. This is huge, you guys. This is huge. A Pakistani court has recently acquitted a Christian man, Sawan Masih, who was sentenced to death for blasphemy in a, quote, daring judgment. Masih was a street sweeper from Lahore, and he was acquitted on October 5th after spending more than 6 years on death row. He received the death penalty for blasphemy in 2013. His alleged blasphemy sparked protests, and a mob torched more than 100 Christian homes in the Joseph colony of Lahore. Reportedly, his family still remains in hiding. This is only the second case in which a Christian has been acquitted after Asia Bibi on blasphemy charges in the country.
Okay, so even based on Pakistani standards, this guy was innocent, and he still had to pay 6 years of his life for no reason at all. Okay, so it's not. So if he went free, that means that not only, first of all, blasphemy shouldn't be a crime, but this guy didn't even blaspheme, right? There was no evidence for him to even have blasphemed, so he just had to pay, like, hey, I guess, hey, I just accuse you of blasphemy, and like, hey, you're innocent. Oh, you didn't get executed. Yay! I just paid 6 years of my life for just a random accusation by somebody just saying I blaspheme. No big deal. At least I'm alive. At least now I'm free. That I need to still be in hiding because it's not just the government that I need to be afraid of. Because now the mob is after me because the mob is angry why I didn't get executed. So they're looking for me and my family. It's okay, I didn't get executed. I'm just gonna just live under fear of death for the rest of my life under this in the country, not just for myself, but for also for the people that I love. No big deal. It's okay. Go on, Susanna.
So, the way that things are phrased in this article, it says Masih would be released soon, but his family faces threats and is in hiding. Emphasis on would be freed soon. So I'm of the understanding that he is not freed yet, likely because if he was freed, he would be murdered by a mob. So I am suspecting that similar to Asia Bibi, he's going to have to flee the country. I don't know that for a fact, but I think that that's going to have to happen if he wants to remain alive. And even like Asia Bibi, she fled the country, and then recently, within this past 6 months, they went after her family and murdered one of her brothers or brother-in-laws.
Yeah. So here's the problem. Even if so, you go to jail for 6 years for just an accusation of blasphemy, and you're on death row, but eventually get free. But now you already paid 6 years of your life for it. But now you're worried about the mob, so you have to be in hiding because they come after you. So then what's the next step? Like, I need to flee the country. But guess what? You left your family behind, and they could get hey, bye bye, leaving Pakistan. Guess what? You have a huge family here. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna send all of them? Are you gonna manage to get all of them out of Pakistan? What are you gonna do? Like, we're gonna keep them hostage for you over here. We're gonna go after them. We're not only after family. We could go after the people who defended you. We could go after your lawyers. We could make it very difficult for anybody else to even think about defending people like you. So yeah, this is like such a messy. There's no solution for this. What is, like, other than, like, I mean, come on, Pakistan is like so like, it's easy to lose hope for Pakistan. What do you guys think?
Well, I think that that's what keeps a lot of people, afraid to speak out against any of this, or not go along with the mob, is maybe not even fear for themselves, but the fact that it's this collective punishment, and that's what people have over you, is that they'll come after your family. No one in your family can get a job. Your brother disappears. They go after your nieces and nephews. They, they burn their house. It's just this thing. And so then you lose the support of your family because their lives are being made harder. So it's just this way of keeping people in line, too, of making them toe the line. And they use a lot of times the family as a way of that, because they know that it's not just you. And I also think it's sad that this guy was in jail for 6 years and he finally gets the chances of being free, but now it's better for him to be in jail because it's safer for him to stay in jail.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's a really difficult situation. Now, I do think the fact that he was acquitted, it I don't know if it gives me hope. Like, it shows that people acknowledge that, or at least the judges involved with this case acknowledge that this is wrong. But given what we've been covering in the recent weeks, the rate of blasphemy cases has accelerated through the roof in Pakistan over the past 2 months. Dozens and dozens of charges filed against people, cases and FRIs filed against people for blasphemy. Now, not all of them have gone all the way to being turned into charges, but it can't sustain itself. This type of environment cannot sustain itself, and I'm just wondering what will it take for things to change. However, I patently refuse to give up on Pakistan. The people I talk to in Pakistan are incredible, and what they're up against is it's mountainous. But I'm gonna fight beside them or behind them the whole time. I don't care.
Just because these judges decided that this person should go free doesn't mean that they think it's wrong. They may have had him go free on a technicality, on a legal point. That's the thing a lot of people don't necessarily understand. It doesn't necessarily even mean that they've made an ideological statement about the legislation. So that's one thing. And then the second thing is, I feel
Rivka, your microphone going really crazy. Maybe when your audio goes above a certain level, your microphone just goes crazy.
It's the anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Right, built into the microphone. But I think that absolutely you have to stand behind these people. I'm not sure how to fix it at this point, but you can't abandon people either, or they can't. Because there's people there fighting for it. I mean, so how can you abandon them if they're in that environment fighting for freedom of thought, and we have that, that fantastic freedom here? It just seems like wrong to give up on them.
So we should move on to the next news. Is this next news club worthy? No.
No.
No. Okay. So let's just go next.
Okay.
Next news. 2
Supreme Court justices say marriage equality decision should be overturned in the United States of America. Recently, United States Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas issued an opinion that attacked the 2015 Supreme Court decision in Obergefell versus Hodges, the decision that federally legalized marriage equality, as unconstitutional as it, quote, bypassed the democratic process and caused people with, quote, sincerely held religious beliefs concerning marriage to find it increasingly difficult to participate in society, end quote. Quote, by choosing the privilege a novel constitutional right over the religious liberty interest explicitly protected in the First Amendment, and by doing so undemocratically, the court has created a problem that only it can fix, wrote Thomas, who was joined by Justin Samuel Alito. Until then, Obergefell will continue to have ruinous consequences for religious liberty, end quote. Thomas made the statement about Obergefell while denying a petition from Kim Davis, a county clerk in Kentucky who has been involved in litigation ever since she refused to issue a marriage license to same-sex couples while citing her Christian beliefs.
So I think this is really interesting because we were just talking about the judges in Pakistan who may have let this person go, not because they were making an ideological statement, but they were just arguing a legal point. These guys are not in this statement that they put out arguing a legal point at all. In my opinion, they're saying that this is unconstitutional because the courts are now deciding that their religious beliefs aren't valued, and so therefore people call them bigots. And that's not fair to them. They can't participate because it's not fair that they get called names.
Sorry, I have to ask, where in the Constitution says that Christians have the right not to get
Exactly, that's what
butthurt?
I'm saying. Like, that doesn't make sense. They don't have that. That's their legal argument. And he's saying it wasn't done democratically. Well, there's lots of things that the court ends up deciding. That is part of the democratic process. That's how it works. People elect presidents who then appoint justices who then make decisions on the constitutionality of specific things that people have brought petitions to the court about. Miscegenation is one of them, you know. So democratically, you should have had a vote in the entire country. People don't vote in the entire country on lots of other things. So why is this special? This is special because it's his religion that he thinks is special, and he needs to protect these people from being called bigots. That's what it sounds like to me. The argument he's making.
Susanna?
So it's important to note he made this statement while he was denying a petition from Kim Davis, who, as a government employee, refused to complete her job as a government employee by issuing marriage certificates in Kentucky. She was abdicating her responsibility as a government employee because of her sincerely held beliefs. And but the reason why he denied the case is important. Thomas, the Supreme Court refused to hear the case. Thomas and Alito agreed with the court because Davis's case does not cleanly present a chance to overturn Obergefell, but they explained exactly why they think the landmark marriage equality decision is unconstitutional. So they denied this not because they have a problem with her case, but because they did not think that it could actually present significant credibility to overturn the decision entirely.
Well, and they may realize that exactly that, like it might actually not win. I mean, she may have sworn an oath that she has to follow the law of the United States, and that's the law. And yes, she has a religious belief, so you have to grant her a reasonable accommodation. But if she's the only person in the entire county who can sign marriage licenses, her refusal to do it at all is not a reasonable accommodation. So they do have the right to force her to do it.
Mm-hmm. It's her job. It's literally what she's paid taxpayer money to do. So here was another thing that he wrote, which goes into what Armin was saying earlier. Obergefell enables courts and governments to brand religious adherents who believe that marriage is between one man and one woman as bigots, making their religious liberty concerns much easier to dismiss.
Okay. Hold on. what the hell is going on here? Am I misunderstanding something? So the court, two of the judges, okay, Susanna, just wait for me to ask this question, please. But the Constitution that says that everybody in the United States should be treated equally under the law. Okay, so based on that alone, that means gay people should be able to get married just like straight people. All right, but they said like they're ignoring that in favor of religious liberty, which they're interpreting as, oh, if you say something and people call you a bigot, then we have to protect your feelings because that goes like wait, the judges are actually openly saying that they want to throw away gay rights because they're worried about the hurt feelings of Christians, because if they, based on these new standards, based on these new laws, if they say they're against certain views, other people are going to call them bigots.
Yes.
And apparently religious liberty in their mind means we need to protect you from butthurt.
Yes.
That's what religious liberty means in their mind?
Wait, I have
you could insert slavery in there, and it would be the same argument that some people made. Oh, well, it's their religious liberty, and we can't allow people who are abolitionists to say that.
No, that's not what. That's not. It's even worse than that, Rivka. They're not even saying that. They're saying other people's opinion, comments, but these laws. All right.
Right, I get it.
No, let me just say this, because these laws are just going to what it does. It encourages certain people commenting on your views in a negative way. They're trying to protect Christians from being called bigots. Is that the job of the Supreme Court of the United States, to protect Christians from being called bigots, especially when they are being bigots? Is that what they're go on?
The reason why I just want to say the reason why I said you can insert slavery in there is because he also says it makes it easier to label these people as bigots for merely refusing to alter their religious beliefs in the wake of prevailing orthodoxy. And what I mean by that is, so if you have a bunch of people who believe as part of their religion, which a lot of people who kept slaves did, that their religious beliefs that these people were less than, and therefore it was part of, ordained by God. So if the prevailing orthodoxy is abolition, so now we need to protect your feelings about this, so we can't change the law because the people who have a religion, you see what I mean? That's where I was going with.
How are these people Supreme Court judges? Go on, Susanna.
Lifetime appointment, baby. Yeah, that's the joy of the construction of our judicial branch. But Rivka, that quote you gave is even more, well, I don't want to call it tasty, but spicy, because he's saying, since Obergefell, parties have continually attempted to label people of goodwill as bigots for merely refusing to alter their religious beliefs in the wake of prevailing orthodoxy. Like, it's I don't think that is goodwill. The refusal to treat people equally under the law. I don't think that is goodwill.
It doesn't matter whether it is or not. It's not a legal argument.
No.
It's not a legal argument. Saying that this law makes it easier for people who don't agree with it to be called bad names, so therefore it makes it unconstitutional because when they get called bad names, that makes it appear as if they can't practice their religion. They can practice all they want, but they're not free from getting called names. That's not a legal argument. That's like a Pakistani argument almost.
It is. Vox's Ian Millhiser called it astonishing that two Supreme Court justices want to take away civil rights from a minority just because people who oppose them have been called unkind words. That's really what it comes down to.
But by the way, even if this doesn't happen, this sets a precedent across the world that, look, even in the United States, the highest judges in the land are against this, right? Like when it comes to normalizing gay marriage across the world, like one thing we like about our countries like leading the way so that it becomes normal and accepting for other countries to follow. But the people who are against gay marriage in countries where it hasn't been legalized could always point to this. Always point to this. So like, look, even in countries where gay marriage is normalized and you have educated legal people, the best of all legal people, the highest judges, right? The most qualified people in their land saying, look, there's a problem with this. And so this goes beyond the borders of the United States, the consequences of this, right?
Yes.
But again, I didn't even imagine that this could, yeah, I mean, this means that if like Trump gets another 4 years, for example,
Well, this is
No, wait,
is
can I finish?
activist
Can I finish?
judges,
Can I
though,
finish? Can I finish?
that the Republicans were
Yeah.
decrying all.
Can I? No, but I'm saying that this, like, I couldn't imagine that even the possibility of going back this far, like to actually undo, like, it would be bizarre. I mean, it would be unimaginable. It was unimaginable to me for the United States to be like, oh, gay marriage was legal, we're going back to making it not legal. Like, that would be like impossible, I thought. But is it now? It seems like, I mean, if Trump wins and two of them are open, no?
I don't think so. I don't think you take rights away that you've given. People don't give back power. Okay.
Well,
So honestly,
had-
whether it's people or whether it's governments. So
Rivka,
I
that's
mean,
happened before, though.
Yeah.
I know, but here, prohibition, legal then not legal, so they made. What I'm saying is I don't think people give back power. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know what kind of argument you could make that's a legal argument that doesn't include Magic Sky Friends as protecting people's Magic Sky Friends over some. So this opens the gate for all kinds of stuff now. So we're going to take back women voting because some people sincerely held religious beliefs are that women shouldn't vote. Are we going to take back, I don't know,
right.
some civil rights era things because some people's deeply held. You see what I'm saying? I just don't
but
think.
Rivka, but we had on Secular Jihadists, we had Andrew Seidel, which is like the
I know who he
from
is.
Freedom. Yeah, but I need to tell other people. From Freedom Religion Foundation, he's a constitutional lawyer. Is that how you say?
Mm-hmm.
And he thought if Trump wins, it's definitely possible for gay marriage to become illegal. But I don't know if I agree with him or not. But who am I to? But that's what he's the expert.
What's
here,
the argument, though? Like, they're trying to make a constitutional argument out of people's feelings. It seems like most of the time when people win arguments about constitutional rights, they don't actually win on that. They win on technicalities of the law. There's nothing legal at all about this, from what I can see. But I don't know. I'm not a constitutional lawyer. He is, so I'm going to give him the deference if he thinks that there's something going on here. But
I'm not going to give my opinion on that.
All right, so I think, okay, Susanna, can you actually read this? There's somebody bringing me mail, so I'm going to highlight this for you to read. Well, hold on, I'll be right back, okay?
Oh, this whole Facebook comment? Okay. Brian Nacho is saying this is because we never, for whatever reason, canonically refute religious nonsense when it involves law. The only opposition I can fathom to equality in all things always stems from religious biases, every time, regardless of topic. It's very simple. Religion did not create marriage, but it does heavily incorporate it into religious policies. So when it comes to, say, two gay men being denied the ability to marry in a church, then tough titties, fellas. You picked the wrong religion. The church has every right to set the rules within their special club. That being said, once marriage moved from being only a religious thing, and there were laws issued about it regarding assets, divorce, a marriage license, etc., then marriage itself is no longer solely a religious principle. It's a legal issue. And in the US, there's a separation of church and state. Parentheses, it has deteriorated much in the last 50 years, but it is still here. And thus does not and should not follow any religious prompting to the validity of said union. Good comment by Brian. Hitting it home.
Right. And also this person, wait, there was another person who agreed with us that everything could go backwards. Oh, this one. Check this one.
Stuart Huntley is saying normal person says this is exactly what was expected. It will be a full reversal of all human rights for the last 100 years. Now the Supreme Court will be packed. USA Back to the Future episode of 1930s coming to a VR cinema near you. I find that heavily alarmist.
Yeah. I don't know. That seems a little bit too hyperbolic.
Mhm.
I don't know.
A little hyperbolic.
Yeah. Okay. Can I clap for the next news or no?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Great. Hold on. Well, next news.
Okay, next news. Atheism on the rise in Kazakhstan. 10 years ago, only 6% of Kazakhstanis were atheists, according to Ainur Aberzasilksi, the director of the Research Center for Religious Affairs of the Committee on Religious Affairs. Now, this figure has tripled. As of 2019, the share of non-believers in Kazakhstan is now an estimated 18.8% of the total population. And just over 75% of the population consider themselves to be believers but do not perform regular religious rites and are not frequently involved in the activities of any religious associations.
What do you think the memes are that people posting under this on our Facebook page?
Shouts out.
Yeah, for people who can't see on our podcast, it's Borat because Kazakhstan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think I think most people who basically it's a meme saying very nice. I think most people would never know that this is a country unless it was because of Borat movies. But yeah,
Americans definitely.
Yeah. No.
Well, it was
people.
part of the Soviet Union, so it was one of the stans for so long that people of a certain age didn't know about it unless you were from a certain part of the, like Eastern Europe. You just never heard of like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, all of those stans, But I think there's a bunch of political unrest happening right now in Kazakhstan as well. But I think it's been known to be fairly diverse and multi-cultural and, but I think it's good. Yay, Kazakhstan.
Yeah, I think this is happening globally, so Kazakhstan is just another country. But again, I wonder what are they being influenced by? I mean,
well,
go.
I really liked this article. This article was actually a little bit older, but it was so good I just had to include it. So it was really interesting. So it talks about how this figure has tripled from 6% to almost 19%. The person who was the director of this research center also said that some people maybe indicated that they were atheists in order to avoid troubles. Now that confused me a little bit. I think it maybe has to do with kind of coming from the Soviet Union, kind of that kind of context, and that's what she meant by that. But this article is really interesting because it also highlights the stories of several prominent Central Asian atheists. So, for example, in March 2013, a criminal case was initiated against the journalist and human rights defender Alexander Karlamov, a Kazakhstan based on his denial of God and his atheistic ideology. He was accused of inciting religious hatred and discord, and he was acquitted. The court found that he wasn't. The court found that the majority of the population of Kazakhstan were believers, and the human rights activist expressing his own views on such issues spreads harmful ideas. The case was later closed, and last year he won what amounts to uh, about $2,500 from the state for unlawful prosecution. In the same year, ex-deputy of the Mazlichis of the parliament, Zumatai Alivav, proposed introducing atheism along with religious studies in educational institutions. After 6
What?
years, he still has the same opinion. Quote, I think atheism should be taught in both schools and in universities because there is such discipline as religious studies. This is the respect of all. This is for the respect of all citizens of Kazakhstan. It's high time to introduce this lesson into school curriculum. In 2017, a draft law was developed in Kazakhstan that proposed fines for insulting atheistic beliefs of citizens. However,
What?
yes,
I don't know. I don't like that.
I don't actually like that, but it's
No.
interesting.
It's commies. He's a Communist Party, I think.
Yeah.
This guy.
Okay, yeah, this is going too far. We
Yeah,
don't.
this is going
That's
too
not.
far.
This is overcorrection. Wait.
However, yeah, so that law was drafted in 2017, but the document remained within the walls of Parliament. No decisions were made on it. The legislative branch has a party representing atheism, which is the Communist People's Party.
Guys, we need to blaspheme against atheism.
Yes.
We need to insult atheism. You cannot pass laws to make insulting atheist views a crime. Yeah, no. Blasphemy, guys. We have to pick up our blasphemy to include include atheism as well.
Yeah, then he said himself, atheism is not a new religion, ? Our program states clearly the communists promote recognition of freedom of conscience, the right to practice any religion or not practice any religion, to separate church and mosque from the state and schools from the church and mosque. At the same time, communists are conducting widespread atheistic propaganda, avoiding humiliation and insulting the feelings of believers in any form. Yeah, so a lot of this has to do with Soviet commie stuff.
Yeah, this is not just atheist. This is atheist with like commie. I think Arjun was right. Hold on, he was saying something, and I thought like maybe he's wrong, so I didn't know. I don't know if this is like influenced by modern religion. I don't know. Maybe you're right. So yeah, this is not the kind. This is not the brand of non-belief that we like. Okay, blasphemy against atheists. Hashtag blasphemy against atheists. So somebody said. So where is this? Mortal is saying, let's make sexy Darwin. I think sexy Marx would be something that these people would get more. But where's Rivka's back? Get people butthurt over. Yeah, we need to make sexy Marx.
There's a certain brand of commie that'd be really into that. Yeah,
you're right. Actually, the new Marxists might actually like that.
They would be really into that.
Yeah.
They're like, you're doing our propaganda for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was interesting. It also, this article also has a few little cute interviews with just like everyday, normal Central Asian atheists about their life and what that means to them. So,
just to be fair, though, even though we don't like Marxism, we accept Marxists as friends, and we're tolerant of them as people, even though they have crappy ideas. Okay, just don't want to completely alienate the commies or the Marxists that we might have in our audience. Okay, you have crappy ideas, but you're an atheist. An atheist republic is your home, even though you have crap ideas. Okay, but Rivka wants to say something.
I was just going to say, love the believer, hate the belief.
Oh, Rivka, we love you. Do you guys have any other commentary on this?
Arjun is saying no, make sexy Lenin. We should make Lenin and Marx making out. Oh yeah, there we go. Have Marx and so Murtad is saying Marx and Darwin making out. That would be blessed. I don't know. I don't think any of this. I mean, Marx is the new brand of Marxism is this whole critical race theory people. I don't think they would ever get butthurt over these people making out. Then we were like, hey, we should make that into a flag or something. Like if we make Marx and Lenin making out art, they were like, thank you, we're gonna put that in front of our propaganda going forward. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
have
if they
so
would.
many
Yeah.
problematic thoughts about this. I can't even say it on air.
Yes. What would they find blasphemy? These people.
I gotta do a little thinking about that.
Yeah, we have to
Not a
think about it.
Stalin, maybe, but probably not even.
Yeah. No, but it's not. You're not blaspheming against them if you make them make out with each other. They would be like, "Yay, we love that," right? So that's not something that they would consider.
Show
Even
them
though.
doing something bourgeoisie.
Maybe I don't know. We have to think about that. Give
Well,
us
we
your
could have
ideas.
Marx and like FDR making out or something.
Yeah.
Something about or like something about defeating communism, like Gorbachev and Reagan making out.
I mean, that's not. Those people are not that sacred to them.
I know, but it's still Russia. I'm just trying to think of something, but they probably
Yeah.
don't even know who Gorbachev is.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think Torah saying the Dalai Lama has said he considered himself to be 50% Marxist and 50% Buddhist, so have him make out with Marx. Okay, let's go to the next news. Is this clapworthy? Oh, that depends.
It
That
depends.
maybe we disagree on this. I'm gonna do a clap anyways, even though I don't agree with this. So we'll see. It's not that. It's not like a dark thing, so we could clap. Okay.
Yeah.
Next news.
Okay, YouTube removes Nation of Islam channel. So, according to YouTube, the Nation of Islam, or NOI, channel was removed on October 2nd for violating YouTube's policies against hate speech, specifically the notion that members of a protected group are part of an evil conspiracy theory. A YouTube spokesperson spoke to the Jewish Journal, saying, we have, quote, we have strict policies prohibiting hate speech on YouTube and terminate any channel that repeatedly or egregiously violates these policies. The spokesperson continued, quote, after updating our guidelines last year to better address content that spreads hateful conspiracy theories, we saw a 5-time spike in video removals and have terminated over 25,000 channels for violating our hate speech policies.
Okay, what were the hate speech that they are? Is it?
Well, the leader of the Nation of Islam, I don't know if these words are like YouTube.
Are anti-Rivka's people?
Yes. Well, I mean, we've already said anti-Semitism on the stream a bunch. So the leader of Nation of Islam, Louis Farrakhan, is known popularly as like America's most popular anti-Semite. He's virulent anti-Semite. Some of the stuff he says is crazy. Yeah, they promote some of the worst anti.
Yeah, but did they say any of that on their YouTube videos? Okay, it's one thing for you to have these. Okay, Rivka.
I think that when they replay Farrakhan's speeches where he's calling Jews termites, the devil.
No.
We have to say the children of Abraham.
No, we cannot just use like a dehumanizing language right after J. Like this is like again that word right after J. YouTube is going to completely associate that with us.
Okay, so I dropped the T.
Yeah, guys.
Okay, like so when they say he calls the children of Abraham first ones, the first children.
Do not call something dehumanizing.
He uses pejoratives against them. There's many of them where he calls them names. He says terrible things about them. So if those are being repeated and shown on the channel, then that maybe is what they're saying about how it's violating, or if other members are saying those same things based on his
By the way,
teachings.
Rivka, I'm so sorry. I'm not the one being picky. Okay, it's not me.
I
I'm
know you're
sorry.
not. I'm sorry. It's hard for me
It's
to remember.
no, no, no. But I'm sorry. Like it might seem like I'm enforcing some really crazy rules, but they're
Oh,
not my
I
rules.
I know how that works actually. I got thrown in jail for saying the F word and then using a specific ethnicity behind it. Facebook jail for days. You can't say
Right.
certain things and
And
certain
then for
things
even if you,
together.
yeah, even though you don't mean it because
Right, no,
yeah,
I was it had quotes around it. Someone was saying I was quoting someone saying that. Didn't
right.
matter.
Susanna.
Yeah, so he is known for calling this group of people, like the synagogue of Satan, the enemy of God, saying that they have broken their covenant of relationship to God. There's a lot of interesting overlap with some Black Hebrew Israelite ideas of stolen birthright, because Nation of Islam also has a lot of Black supremacist views. Um, and he said he has claimed that white people are born with a lie and with taking people's lives in their nature. Um, so, um,
But
also,
none of that anti-white stuff will get you a strike, by the way.
that's true.
Like any of the, you can say as much as vile and disgusting things about white people, and you're not gonna get a strike for that. As soon as you say the same things about any other group of people, including the children of Abraham, strikes comes down really fast. But go on.
So it should be noted since August 2019, YouTube has removed several white, low melanated supreme sandwich nationalist figures from its platform, including the former leader of the Triple K and a I can't think of a good euphemism for him, but R Spencer in June is the one how recently they removed those two figures. So the real question is,
We
what
should
you guys
hand out a pamphlet to people, to our viewers, to refer to like code words,
should
like
we
every time
have
we
a
a guy.
document where we just share the screen of like
Yes, we should have it.
So it's like a map key, so
Yeah,
they know what we're saying.
yeah.
yeah
Every time we use it, I'll just share it on the screen so people could like connect the dots with each other. Okay,
yeah.
good.
So that's going to be a long list, like Control F, like. um, so the real question is, what do you guys think about this move from YouTube?
Okay, if first of all, I think this is dangerous because they're gonna if they could find ways to make people go, yay, channels being taken down, we love it, then you just like making it more popular for them to just keep taking more channels down, right? Um, I mean, technically, the stuff that this guy says, it's also in the Quran and the Hadith and the Bible,
I
right?
mean, where do you think he got it from? It is called the Nation of Islam.
No, I mean just a reading of the
Yeah,
Quran and the Hadith
yeah.
and the Bible will get you a lot of vile hate speech a lot against entire groups of people.
Hmm.
So, are you gonna be consistent and just remove Quranic recitations from from YouTube? Like, is that where we're going? I mean, I don't know. Like, and again, so Susanna, you clarified that the videos that were taken down was not because their leader was anti-Semitic. Those videos specifically were saying anti-Semitic stuff, right? So they
They
didn't just
were
go.
specifically spreading conspiracy theories. Um, wait, um, that members of a protected group are part of an evil conspiracy theory. So emphasis on protected group and evil conspiracy theory.
Hmm. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I think, I think these people are getting really trigger happy with the striking, and the more they do it, the more it's gonna misfire, right? I mean, I think it would be always just a good idea just to be like, somehow, just say like, guys, let's just like make the big social media platforms, just make them like treat them like utilities, right? people don't go and if I call you on the phone and I tell you some conspiracy theories, people are not going to ask the telephone company to just cut our call, right? People are not going to do that. Like, is that going to happen? Like, people are going to take my phone plan away because I'm talking to you. Like, it's just everybody like just make it. It's just treat it like a. I think there needs to be laws that make the internet like the new public space. Rivka, go on.
Well, I'm not taking a side one way or the other, but I think that your analogy between a telephone call to one person and someone disseminating this out to hundreds of thousands of people who then disseminate it out to hundreds and thousands of other people, there's a big difference between what you say to someone on the phone and the level at which that can be disseminated out
But maybe
versus
we need to see it. Like we need more people to see that
I'm not saying
yeah.
that one way or the other on that. I'm just saying I don't think that analogy is necessarily the same thing.
Right. Good point.
It's hard to yeah, I mean it's difficult because for most situations, I'm pretty much a free speech absolutist, although this is a private company, so they get to make rules. It's not the government. Now, do I agree with those? I don't necessarily think that it's a good idea to take people's ideas down, but I also know that some of these conspiracy theory rabbit holes that people go into through these algorithms that take them into more and more and more of that have led to a lot of lack of social cohesion, a lack of trusting in institutions, a lack of understanding between people of what even objective reality is. So I'm not saying whether I agree with them doing this or not. I'm just trying to understand it more because I think that they're trying to figure out some way to socially re-engineer this social engineering experiment that they've unleashed on the world. And I don't know that they figured it out. I don't know if this is the right way. And then also, what is hate speech? What you can't say today, maybe you can say tomorrow, and the things that you can say today, you can't say tomorrow, which is always the slippery slope with these kind of things. And where are these lines? Are they fixed? Are they mutable? How do you know what actually qualifies? At some point it becomes ambiguous to some level. Now, this isn't ambiguous because it isn't factually true, but this is definitely, he's spreading lies that could be considered incitement to violence. So I'm not sure how to think about it yet because I don't necessarily agree or disagree at this point. I need to think about how do you deal with this situation because some of what's going on social media is an issue that's causing some disharmony amongst people because we're having problems agreeing on what's objective reality. People don't even agree on what's real anymore.
Right. So, by the way, just to clarify to a whole bunch of people, a bunch of idiots who don't understand free speech and stuff, because we seem to have more of those people like, free speech, free speech. We're not saying this is a violation of free speech, okay? Again, the government was not involved in silencing these people in any way, and these people are free to mention their opinions. Just because you're free to say whatever you want to say, that doesn't mean that you have the right to a platform. Okay? When we're debating or discussing or wondering if this is a good idea or not, that does not mean that we're saying if it's a bad idea to remove these channels. We're not saying that, but if we do say it's a bad idea to remove these channels, that doesn't mean that it's a violation of their free speech, okay? It's possible for a policy or a type of censorship to be a bad idea while not being a violation of someone's free speech, okay? Not all bad censorship is a violation of free speech. I don't know how you guys don't understand that. This is pretty simple, okay? It's not a violation of your free speech, but it could still be a bad idea. Is that so hard to grasp for a lot of people? I don't understand. This is so easy. God damn it, you guys are some of you are morons. But anyways, again, I'm not saying this might be a good idea. So we're wondering that. But go.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if anybody knows what the solution is, and as in so many things, people are reacting rather than being proactive or trying to think about things in another way other than to just react to say, okay, well, you got to go. And maybe that's right, maybe it's not right. I'm not sure where it's going or how it's going. And I just need to think about it a lot more.
Yeah, that's a very open-minded way of looking at this. Like, I don't know. I need to think about it. That's good. I wish more people thought like that. I don't know. I need to think about it. We need to make that. We need to make that type of thinking like cool again, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I haven't thought about it. Need to think about it. Come up with a more nuanced view. Again, people don't say that. People are like, I have an opinion right now with very limited information because if I don't have a strong opinion on this, I'm gonna look weak, and I need to. Yeah. So that's yeah. So we need to make it. Need to make it seem strong for you to be brave enough to say, yeah, I don't know, right? That needs to be sold as a brave position to take. Susanna, do you want to add anything?
Make I don't know sexy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, we can make a video. Like somebody says, I don't know, and there's this like hot girl and comes like, oh my god, say that one more time, slowly this time. Yeah, we could
What
do
did you
that.
just say to me? I don't know.
Do it like this. I don't.
That's good. All right, guys, somebody make that in it. Oh, by the way, Fatima, can you make one emote of us doing ASMR? Sorry, we're asking Fatima. Fatima is probably thinking like, damn it, I made free art for these guys, and now they're so demanding. No, no, okay, no.
Well, I feel like for ASMR, the Susanna licking the Quran emote fits under that category. We
Oh
still
yeah,
need to
yeah.
add that to YouTube. It's on
Oh,
Discord, but we need to add it to YouTube.
oh yeah, email
I
it
need
to
to
me
send
so
you
I
the
could.
file.
Yes, yes, please.
That made my day.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, check
Oh,
your
like
Facebook
Fatima is
messages.
saying, of course, LL, no, I'm having fun. Aw,
Hmm.
guys, we need to promote her Instagram for this.
Yes,
Anyways,
check out Mrs. Artsy.
yes.
I'm Mrs. Artsy on Instagram. Um,
Should we go? Oh, you want to add something or should we go to next news?
Next news.
Okay, so is this clap worthy? No,
Um,
no,
it's
no.
clapworthy in the sense that bad things are being exposed, but generally not good.
Not good. Okay, no, no, no. Rivka is like, no, no. Okay,
Don't do it.
okay, no clapping. Next news.
Next news. Church of England fails. Church of England's failures allowed child sexual abusers to hide. In the United Kingdom, a recent report from the Independent Inquiry into Child Sexual Abuse, or ICSA, concluded that the Church of England, or COE, failed to protect children from abuse and created an environment that kept abusers hidden. The report said that 390 clergy members and church leaders were convicted of abuse between the 1940s and 2018. The latest data comes from 2018, in which there were 449 concerns raised about child sexual abuse. A significant number of these cases involved, I can say this, possession or downloading of indecent images of children. The COE said it felt, quote, shame over the failings detailed in the report.
Is there any evidence that they were being tribal, like on purpose, protecting people that were on their side or something like that?
Yes, in my opinion.
How so?
Well, I'm waiting for the article to pull up, but there was one case of a person talking about how he tried contacting his I don't know if you call it an Anglican tradition. In Catholicism you would call it a diocese or a parish. So of trying to contact the diocese or whatever you call it that abused him over like 20 times. There were 20 attempts to contact senior members of the church after his decision to report the assaults, but often received no reply. There, I mean, because there wasn't this pressure on them to actually hold themselves accountable until recently, right? So this has been documented since the 1940s, and it is only within the past couple of years that they're actually being held accountable to it to this degree.
So what's going to happen to them? What's the consequences?
Settlements. There
I hope they go
is
broke over this.
there's more. Wait, you guys give more commentary where I look through this article.
Rivka, any opinions?
Well, I mean, Kelsey Prees, we're seeing this everywhere, that all these organizations that have undue authority, when people are handing over their kids to them and no one's checking, no one's, making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do, we're finding out all these years later that indeed not only did bad things happen, but they knew about it and didn't do anything. So, I mean, I'm sorry to say, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
And it's too bad that it has to come to this, because there's settlements, but that doesn't change the trauma and the damage that these people went through their whole lives. And that also, what are they going to do about changing the culture so that this never happens again?
Before Susanna mentioned something, I just want to always clarify when we have stories like this that people might say, somebody might be like, well, there's nothing in the Bible that endorses this, right? And to be fair, yeah, it's true. There's nothing in the Bible that endorses this, but Christianity is still to blame in two key ways. Especially Christianity is to blame, just like other religions, but Christianity specifically is very clear on this, that all sins are forgiven through Jesus Christ. So that creates a license, provides a license for you to sin, and all sins are treated equally. Like some people lie to their mom, some people abuse children, some people commit genocide. We're all sinners, and all sins are forgiven through Jesus Christ. So this kind of creates a mentality that you're good with God as long as you're good with Jesus. You're okay no matter what you did. So that create especially when it comes to church leaders, and they believe that. So it's a very easy way to clear your conscience, right? So in that way, Christianity is responsible. In another indirect way, that Christianity, even though it doesn't tell you that this is okay, Christianity is responsible for giving undeserved authority and legitimacy to a certain group of people, and creates a sense of trust among parents to trust their children to people that do not deserve, that do not have any credibility or have gone through any of the tests that we think people should go through. That makes people qualified to handle children. They don't go through any of that because they have other metrics and other criteria for what they use to trust people with their children, and they create environments where a lot of children are trusted to people that haven't gone through a lot of the checks and tests that other people have to go through for society and parents to trust children with them, right? And that would naturally lead into, even if most of them are not like this, it's going to lead to higher instances of child abuse being the product of this kind of trust and undeserved authority given to religious leaders, right? So in those two indirect ways, yes, Christianity is responsible for this. But go on, Susanna.
To answer your questions, I have two specific examples of tribalism. The report cited the example of the late cathedral dean, Robert Waddington, about whom serious allegations were made in 1999. The then Archbishop of York said that there was, quote, simply no possibility of the claims being correct. It also cited Reverend Ian Hughes of Maryside, who was convicted in 2014 for downloading 8,000 indecent images of children. His offending was played down by senior colleagues. The report also found examples of clergymen being ordained despite a history of child sexual offenses.
Whoa, that's crazy. And they knew about this, and they still did it.
Yes. They knew and said, you can be an ordained member of our clergy. giving them authority, giving them legitimacy.
And giving them access to children,
Yes.
even with that history. How
Hmm.
on earth do you get away with stuff like this? You
Yeah.
have to. This is religious privilege. How on earth do you get away with stuff like this? No other organization would be able to get away with stuff like this, unless you only with religion can you do stuff like this. I mean, mostly with religion. I'm pretty sure if we look, do some research, we're gonna find some other examples. But that is insane. Again, these people would be in handcuffs. Like all these leaders would be in handcuffs and in jail for investigation, and there would be like court dates after court dates if this was any other organization or any other institution, if it was non-religious.
Hmm. So you also asked about like what can they do moving forward. The report gave some explicit recommendations. The independent inquiry's recommendations are likely to be endorsed in full by the House of Bishops and put to its governing General Scion in November. This will probably lead to an extension of a pilot support scheme for a small number of survivors who are already receiving financial help. But survivors groups says the inquiry's findings represent only the tip of an iceberg. Today's findings will prove a heavy cost for the church.
Yeah. So by the way, Arjun is making a good point, right? So it's not just the Catholic Church. It's not even just Christianity. Like this happens in Islamic schools all the time as well, right? This is the Anglican Church, the Catholic Church, other religious organizations. In fact, in Iran, it was happening by one of the closest Quran teachers, closest people to Khamenei himself, Quran teacher, and he managed to get away with it, right? He was like, he was teaching kids Quran, and he was doing other things with them on the side, and that was a very high profile case in Iran. So, but
A lot of
Susanna?
times these
No,
people do get away with it because either they're supported or hidden by their religious institution or other devotees of their religious institution, or they help them. So, for example, there was another one in Australia, a woman who ran a yeshiva religious school, Malka Leifer.
Mm-hmm.
She has been accused of this, and she snuck out in the middle of the night with some help from people within the community. I'm not sure who. I don't want to say, but and went to Israel and was hiding out there, and they finally extradited her after years and years and years of being aided and abetted by all kinds of people in Australia, in Israel, and other places to prevent her from going back and answering these charges of having molested children.
Mm-hmm.
oh my God! That's why Rivka. I say abusing children instead of them. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
I have no. You need to send me a list of the things I can't say. Then I don't even
I'm
know.
sorry. I'm
I mean, I
sorry.
know
I'm
I
sorry.
know naughty.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. I'm guessing. Okay, so I don't know.
And to be
Um,
fair, Armin and I have a lot more practice.
yeah.
Well, and also I'm just used to using the right exact word for
Oh my
what I
god, what a
mean.
concept.
What an idea! Oh my God. Yeah. So one last thing I want to say before we move on to the next news. It's amazing how many crazy conspiracy theories are out there when it comes to child abuse, right?
Mm.
And the Democratic Party apparently is doing that. Hillary is involved with that. What are like the Satanists, the Illuminati, Rivka's people apparently are
Mm-hmm.
involved in that. Yeah, actually, that's what we should refer to the case. We should just say Rivka's people.
Well,
Um,
maybe not.
but but it's amazing how so many people are obsessed with, a lot of fake news on who is abusing children, where we have so open, and it's interesting because a lot of these people are religious, right? And a lot of these people endorse these religious institutions who are openly doing like protecting child abusers, while they themselves go around and point the finger like, oh, it's Hillary Clinton, oh, it's the atheists, oh, it's the J people, oh, it's the Hollywood, oh, like what else? The Illuminati, lizard people, like they keep like, look here, let's find child abusers, and none of it is real, but it's you guys, it's your people, it's your churches and your mosques. You guys are doing that. You guys Are you trying to distract us from you actually being responsible for that real conspiracy to protect child abusers? Like the biggest you know organization involved with not just abusing children but spending a lot of money into protecting them, moving them around, legally protecting them, hiding them, bury information, is the Catholic Church, and it's out there in the open for the whole world to see. And you guys are like, "Oh yeah, Hillary Clinton drinks, so I
Adrenochrome.
can't." Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what we're calling it. All right.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
These conspiracy theorists. It's like the juice from the pineal glands of babies.
Oh my god. All
Yeah.
right.
It's
Okay.
no, it's not just pedophilia, it's also cannibalism. Um, However,
Wow.
Armin, I will say that a lot of these people who believe in this conspiracy theory actually do think that these organizations are part of the cabal itself. So they think that the Catholic Church is Satanists.
Yeah, but even okay,
The
but
Pope
even
is the Antichrist. Come on, man.
I know, but they keep pointing at each other as well. But even their religious organizations is also to blame. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? So they're like, "Oh, I'm not Catholic," and they point at Catholics. They're like, let's look at your church for like your church is the same, right? But I mean, not to the same level as the Catholic. I mean, the Catholic Church
they take the
is
cake.
they take the cake, yeah, for sure.
Well, I
But go
mean,
on,
they've had 2,000 years ahead of everyone.
yeah,
um,
Rivka, yeah.
I was just thinking about how, it almost seems, and please, don't say I'm not making this as a definitive statement, but one would almost get the impression that the entire priesthood itself is simply just cover for a giant cult of the P people who want to diddle
Child,
kids. You know, I
yeah.
mean,
I mean,
honestly, it,
it's
it,
not.
it almost seems like it's that you go in there knowing that. I'm not saying that's the case, but it almost gives the appearance that it has been for the last 1,000 years or something.
I mean, technically, right now that's the main operation, right? It seems like there's also selling Jesus on the side, but that's their that's their side project. So promoting the Bible and Christianity is their side project. Most like the main funding and legal fighting and all the bureaucracy is going towards protecting their fellow priests. I mean, even the ones. Again, here's the thing. I don't want to generalize and see all priests. Okay, no, obviously not all priests are involved in that, but all priests are involved in protecting them. Right?
mhm.
All priests, and not just all priests. Every single Catholic. Every single Catholic, every single person that has donated to the Catholic Church, anybody that calls himself Catholic, is giving legitimacy to an organization that its main purpose right now is to protect child abusers. But go on, Rivka.
How did this turn
I was
into
going to say,
anti-Catholic bigotry? This is about the Anglicans.
Yes. Okay.
This
Sorry.
is
Sorry.
about the Anglicans.
Yes. 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 Okay, Rivka.
well, they
Last
were
comment.
Catholics before they became Anglicans anyway, so it's really all the same thing.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's move on then because we went sideways with this.
Don't you dare remind them that. No. Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Wait. Can we
last news.
clap?
Yes, we can clap.
Okay. Hold on. Next news.
Okay. Next news. Mubarak Bala meets with his legal team. Hashtag free Mubarak Bala. So, for the first time since his arrest, president of the Humanist Association of Nigeria and atheist activist Mubarak Bala has met with his legal team. Bala was arrested on April 28th, 2020 for a Facebook post allegedly blaspheming the Prophet Muhammad. This meeting represents a significant step forward in Bala's case and, most importantly, serves as confirmation that Bala is alive. Humanist International and several other atheist organizations continue to call on the Nigerian government to guarantee Bala's rights. That 1. Bala must have uninhibited access to his team of lawyers. 2. He should be charged either with a crime or released. 3. If charged with a crime, he should be transferred to neutral territory to ensure his right to a fair trial. So I can give more context to that in a second, but you guys go ahead.
Wait, so we thought, yeah, Rivka is clapping. She's muted. But we thought that he could be dead, right, for a while.
Yeah, so about within the span of a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, I don't think that this was very publicly known, but within atheist organizations, there were rumors going around that he had been killed. So other leaders of atheist organizations were um, had heard some news that was spread. It was later not corroborated. That
So, so wait, but how do we know why it took so long for it to get here right now?
They have patently refused to allow him access to his legal team, even though a judge has explicitly ordered the state and the police to give him said access. This is in blatant violation to the Nigerian constitution and Nigerian laws that it took this long. And it got even after that judge mandated that he have access to his legal team. They still refused, and they're basically just spitting on their own constitution. Because I believe this is just coming from the memory bank that it is Nigerian law that you have to be charged within 48 hours or released. He still has not been charged with a crime. So wait, really quick.
Do we clarify that this was a bad blasphemy? Like you said that, right?
Yes, I did. I can give more detail into the blasphemy if you would like.
Before you do that, can you read the super chat?
Yes. So Arjun, thank you for the super chat, Arjun. $5 Canadian. We appreciate you. For the updating us on Mubarak Ball. I can't wait for this to end. Yes. Well, we have to keep fighting for him. We have to continue to raise awareness about the issues in his case, and we have to continue to make sure that he remains alive, given his history of hypertension and the current pandemic.
So give some context about blasphemy a little bit before we.
Yes. So what happened back in April was that he made a Facebook post in which he compared, I believe, a local imam or local preacher to basically saying that, like, this guy was crazy, but he wasn't a Terry. Okay, that's a code word we have to use, a Terry-ish. But he wasn't as Terry-ish as the Prophet Muhammad. He made that on Facebook. And then a team of lawyers filed a petition against him. And then this petition was filed against him. And he was arrested by the courts. In the petition, they accused him of incitement, or basically how they do blasphemy in India, where they're saying you're spreading communal disharmony. And to stop communal disharmony, but they basically admitted that in the legal document itself says that Muslims will incite violence. If I was a Muslim, like, I would be offended by that. So anyways, they arrested him, and then
so they arrested him because they think Muslims cannot handle disagreements.
Yes, and it explicitly says so. You guys can go look it up.
So in a way to protect Muslims, they're actually being bigoted against Muslims.
I thought it was a very bigoted.
Yeah, there's a bigotry of lower expectations, but go on.
Patently and explicitly so. I believe roughly 2 days later, he was arrested, and then he was transferred from, I believe he was originally in Kaduna, he was transferred to Kano State. Now, for those who are not aware, in Kano State, Sharia law is enforced for people of Muslim backgrounds. Mubarak Bala is an ex-Muslim. So they still consider him to qualify for the application of Sharia law. They have several legal systems, and it varies depending on if you come from a Muslim background or if you come from a Christian background. You can be exposed to different types of laws. So because of this, he has to face these penalties as a Muslim. Of course, not only is he facing penalty for blasphemy, he, not for this case, but it is Sharia, there's the potential to face penalty for apostasy under Sharia, not under this legal petition. Let me be clear. And so since April 28th, no one has heard from him. There have been many activists on the ground in Nigeria doing amazing work, particularly Leo Igwe, who Armin and I interviewed earlier in the year. Go check that out. I love talking to him. Very inspiring. And doing everything just to confirm that he was alive at this point. Like there was a few weeks ago, I covered the story that the New York Times published about his wife not even asking for them to explain the charges against him. Like literally just tell me if my husband is alive. They had a 6-week-old baby at the time that he was arrested. Okay. And I'm excited that more and more people are paying attention to this case. His case is being uptaken by Amnesty International. It is now being covered by USRIF, which is the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom, Commission or Council, and other major organizations that are putting pressure on the Nigerian government to secure his safety. Humanist International is one of the amazing organizations that is doing a really good job putting pressure on the Nigerian government. And when there were these rumors flying around about him being murdered, they said, well, I believe that they were the ones who were able to confirm that he was alive. When they were able to confirm that he was alive, which was before he met with his legal team, they explicitly said, they were like, we want to clear up, these rumors aren't true. He's alive. We've had multiple people speak to him. But they highlighted the fact that these rumors would not be able to circulate if the Nigerian government was following through with Bala's rights as a Nigerian citizen. They highlighted these rumors would not be able to thrive if you guys would let him see his legal team, confirm that he's alive, be responsive to our inquiries about his well-being. And I don't know this. I wonder if them calling them out in that way helped push forward him being able to meet with his legal team. So this is a huge step forward. I really hope that things continue to improve in this way. And like I said, his rights as a Nigerian citizen, we demand that they are observed. Most importantly, he needs to be transferred outside of Kano State so that he can be tried in neutral territory.
I really like how much Susanna knows, like, knows the details of this case. Like, you can tell that she's been following this and she's so passionate about it. Like, she's not reading off of anything. She's so familiar with all the details of this case.
That was just off the top of my head.
Yeah. Rivka, go ahead.
I was gonna say that sometimes those rumors are actually started by the people holding people captive on purpose, because it's a way to sort of destroy the people's supporters and also the person themselves. If they say, look at this newspaper, everyone thinks you're dead. They're saying you're dead. Oftentimes they're like psychological games. And if they've been keeping him since April and not allowing him to have contact with anyone in his family, not allowing him to speak to his attorney, all these things, it seems to me they're almost looking for something they can charge him with in order to create a charge, waiting for that. But I think that maybe the Humanist International pressure was helpful, or maybe I'm wrong about that, that they didn't want to have the rumors that they had killed him, so they decided to signal to the world that he was alive. But anyway, it's just really sad because it has psychological damage that it does. Not just the being away, the not having contact, all of those things. And I feel like it's on purpose.
Yeah, to be clear, I do not think that the rumors of him being dead ever reached publications that I saw, to my knowledge. This was just the internal speak that I'm hearing from other organizations reaching out to me. And I was devastated. I was gutted. And I was hoping that they weren't true. Luckily, they were not corroborated. I don't know if I should share the details of that rumor since it's proven to be false, but I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah,
But if you guys would like to learn more about Mubarak Bala, how you guys can help, please go check out freemubarakbala.org. It's a site that's put up in collaboration with Humanist International and Atheist United, and they have a clock featured on the front page that says Mubarak Bala has been detained arbitrarily without charge for 166 days at this point.
Wait, what is the link again?
freemubarakbala.org. Mubarak
Okay.
spelled MUBARABALA.org.
Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna show this.
And there you can read the latest updates on his case. You can help take action by signing statements, donating to his legal fund, and see other signatories and other ways that you can help. Also use the hashtag #FreeMubarakBala. Like I continue to say, I think that the fight for secularism, true secularism in Nigeria, will be one of the most important movements of my lifetime. And many other cases we've highlighted in the past couple months, like the case of Omar Farouk, who is a 13-year-old boy who's been sentenced to 10 years imprisonment for allegedly blaspheming Allah in an argument with a friend. And also the case of 22-year-old Sharif, Yahya Sharif Aminu, who is a singer who has been sentenced to death by hanging for blaspheming the Prophet Muhammad recently. And so those are also several prominent cases that are ongoing in Nigeria that highlight why freedom of speech, freedom of expression is so important, why blasphemy is an imperative, and why I find it is an imperative as an atheist activist to blaspheme, especially on behalf of those people who could be sentenced to death for doing so.
Right. But if you can't tell, Susanna, this is the main kind of activism that Susanna is interested in, that she's doing behind the scenes, that she's like following, and she wants to make. She's helping us focus on a lot of cases that might have gotten ignored if she wasn't here. So this is why having Susanna on our team is such an asset.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, Rivka, did you want to add anything? No. Sorry if I was mean to Rivka today. It's not my fault. I know, guys. Tell Rivka that her commentary is so valuable. Okay, every time, and I don't thank her enough because she comes here and she adds so many details that we ignore, and she like has a lot of like interesting information that we didn't have, and she like adds to it, and all I do is like, no, Rivka, why did you say this, why did you say that, oh, Rivka, your microphone is on, oh, Rivka, this, oh, I can't hear you, oh, like that. So this is all she gets from me, even
We
though, like,
all know the reason why.
Yeah.
So guys, just make sure that you guys have like show appreciation to Rivka, because I'm doing such a poor job at showing her appreciation.
Yeah,
okay?
Fatima, could you make a little emote of Rivka like looking really smart?
See, we're asking other people to do the work to support Rivka, because we're doing such a poor job at like, yes, Fatima, you do it for us because we are so bad at this. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Spend your free time.
No, seriously, Rivka, you're amazing. You have so much legal knowledge too. That's
Yeah,
like
what
way
the hell?
above
What's
my
up with
head.
that?
Way above my head.
I was married to a
I
lawyer
know
for
why.
20 years.
I was gonna say
That'll do it.
no. I was gonna say because of her
Oh
connection.
no.
Yeah, it's also in the blood.
It's come on. I mean,
No,
she's-
YouTube is gonna strike us for conspiracies against a protected group.
Oh my god. Okay, so I was saying love you, Rivka. Yes. All right, this was the last news. Thank you, everybody here. Please, guys, please subscribe. If you're watching this on Facebook, please also come and subscribe to us on YouTube. And also, if you're on Twitch, link to our Twitch is in the description. Follow us on Twitch as well. And subscribe to us on our newsletter, so that if we ever get removed because I was being anti-Semitic towards Rivka, no, I was just kidding. So if we get removed from all these platforms and stuff, because these platforms are crazy. They don't understand that we're not saying these things, and all of a sudden they remove the channel, and no matter who you complain to, there's nobody listening on the other side. So if you're subscribed to our newsletter, that way you always know that we can still reach out to you, okay? Because nobody can take that away from us, okay? We download their emails to our hard drive, and nobody can take that away from us. And we got a super sticker. Guys,
Yes,
look at this.
Spider the Ateo sent us a $3 super chat. Wait, let me see what it is.
Yeah, I can see on YouTube it's
it's
a
a
kitty.
dog.
Is it a
It's
dog
a
or a cat?
dog. It's a Shiba
Okay.
Inu going.
Okay, guys, if you ever send us a super sticker, Susanna has to act it out because StreamYard doesn't show it on the screen. So Susanna has to actually describe exactly what's going on. Yes. Yes, thank you, Arjun, for letting me know. Like, see, look at our live chat community. Like, Arjun, like, guys, did you see the super chat? Like, they're trying to bring attention. And then we have other people thanking. My God, I love our live chat community. We're like a family here. It's so
Go
nice.
check us out on Discord. I've gotten more
Oh, yeah.
active there. I'm
Oh, yeah.
DJing there.
Yeah, Susanna is active on our Discord community now, so go check out the link to our Discord in the description. So go check it out.
People are having a lot of fun there today. They're playing Cards Against Humanity. It was getting wild.
Really? Okay,
Oh yeah,
good.
it was
Check
getting
that
buck
out.
wild.
Okay. Wait, what did you say?
Buck wild.
Okay. All right, guys, subscribe. Okay, just do it. Come on, it doesn't go. Please subscribe. Bye.